going to keep doing what they're doing, finding ways to win with whoever's out there.
That is not going to get 5 yards, let alone 10, but it's a cool-looking kick. I think he just whiffed.
Do we add
week after week? Play action, that might be backward. Flowers didn't get it. McCollum comes up with it. And he is finding his way all the way to the end zone. Wow!
Well, this is definitely a backwards pass. I mean, trying to lead him on the front shoulder, hits the back shoulder. Zion McCollum, he does his impersonation of Derrick Henry. He carries a few people with him all the way to the end zone.
4 explosive runs this season for Murray on the first down. Again, ball batted and intercepted. Went right into the hands of Taylor Tard. Now he loses the ball in a scramble, and Arizona will retain possession after a double turnover. Is going to break down this wildness.
Seeing him right there, he gets his right hand up. And then who comes from behind?
Their guy.
James Conner. It's never over till it's over. But this defense for the Chargers, they just show you. And you see there, James Conner again. Those are those extra effort plays that he's been known for his entire career.
Play fake on second down. Herbert looking for a downfield shot. Loops it down there and wide open. Then the ball is knocked loose. The catch is made. And then the ball is knocked out of his hand. Jalen Reagor. The question is, did it go out of bounds or go through the end?
The flag throw by Olberg.
Oh my! Plays on that call sheet.
Yeah, Samuel's only played 3 snaps. This one's tipped again. That's happened multiple times already today.
Decisive in the pocket. Yeah, when you throw the ball that low, you hit the ball right in Pooney's helmet.
And Mac Hollins in the game in the middle, jumping as well.
So Ridley makes the catch at the 30. Ridley at the 20. Ridley trying to get to the outside, looking at lateral Hopkins. Hopkins throws it across the field. Dangerous at this stage in the game. Petit Frere had it. Now it's scooped up by Pollard. Back to Rudolph. I think the Titans should just end this play.
Puts the defense in a tough position.
This one hit Flowers, and Jackson is going to try to make something happen, and now just throws it out of bounds. Diaby was on him, and the flag comes in with the throw straight out of bounds. Obviously not anywhere near the line of scrimmage with regard to that throw. Might have been down by contact.
The 32. Smith lost the football and then pounces on it back at midfield.
Let's take a quick look and
Got to bring that up a little bit as the blitz is on here. Locke's going to have to get rid of it. He left the ball behind, and it's picked up by a member of the offensive line. That's Greg Van Roden alertly on top of that.
This is an offensive lineman's dream, not the free rusher, but getting a chance to scoop this thing.
Rudolph dropped the snap. Ball is loose. Bills indicating they have it. No official signal yet. And they do. Terrell Bernard.
We saw what he's going to do. 2nd and goal. Fumble on the exchange. The ball pinballing around on the turf. Helmets flying.
Obviously, there's a timetable here with Carolina that we're not familiar with as Mariota keeps it. He dropped the ball, recovered it, picks up a yard on the play.
Feel a different 5. And that's how it's gone today for the Giants. But the catch is made by Wan'Dale Robinson.
Not the start you're looking for on that play for Drew Lock and to the season for the Giants in totality. But listen, you know.
Rudolph dropped the ball.
A couple of Super Bowl rings. He sends this punt down to about the 20-yard line where it bounds toward the end zone. Ball's touched. It hit Ballantyne, the Packer.
I think this is going to go to the Texans. What a huge play. By the way, these balls changed.
goes out of bounds. So a huge break. 42 yards on the kick and nearly a turnover. The gunner was right there in his face, and Xavier Gibson.
Smith-Marset waving everybody away, and he's going to grab it and then lose it out of bounds.
Injured his team on that fielding of the football on this punt return. But this may make up some difference with field position. This is completely botched by Desmond King. Lost track of it. And he jumps back into the fray and takes it out of bounds to keep the football with Houston.
Wow. This would be something if he can hit it. And he hits it. He hits the upright. Not good. And you're going to hear this.
And a lot of doinks.
Oh! Boink! Cody has missed 2 in a row. And the Raiders.
Field goal try to tie. High snap, it's pulled down. The kick by Sanders on the way, and it's off the upright. No good.
Dell.
This should have been a touchdown.
Perfectly thrown ball.
It's early in the game. May looking left, throws, ball incomplete and nearly picked off by Andre Sisco.
Good, but then critical moments you make mistakes, penalties, drops, missed assignments. Right there, Andre Sisco, you got to make that play. I mean, you're an NFL player.
Just thinking the same thing. Haven't even targeted him tonight. Pressure, throwing, and almost picked over the 34-yard line.
Almost a fair catch there for Tyrann Mathieu, and it's the last guy on the field you'd think would drop a
step up into that throw. He has to rush the throw just a little.
Over route, he's there. He just has to catch the football. I mean, that's his opportunity. Just
have been dealing with, this year.
Archie was not deflected,
no.
Almost touched, but that may have been.
1st and 10. Stroud again with pressure. Thought about.
Watch his feet right here. He gets tripped.
First down in the red zone for the Jets. Wilson inside the 15.
Pushed there by the corner Moss. It's a undrafted grab the hand for sure. But
it's on the corner route. He actually gets the leverage he wants. That's what Patrick sees. But Worthy just falls down, and Lenore's right there to pick it up.
You're going to see the tangled feet. Nothing intentional at all. I thought they had a chance against Sauce in the back of the end zone.
Want to dial up that pressure, play man-to-man, it's a lot easier. Zone, he's got to work through his progression.
He gets a little piece of it. Good concentration. The bad throw category. They're trying to run more on an in cut, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Arch, where is Elijah Moore looking? He's not even looking back.
Well, that's a clear out.
Multiple blitzers picked up. Purdy coming near side is intercepted. It was way high, and it was picked off there by Chris Rowland.
Washington out here on the outside. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. If I'm going to throw it up, and then you don't even give your receiver an opportunity.
3 receivers to the left. Nobody goes out to the right. So you come up with this play. You've got a flat. You got a sit down. You got a corner route. As soon as you get flushed to the right, there's
on 1st down and 10. Rudolph, pressure's coming. Rudolph doesn't see it. He lost the football. It's still loose. A scramble forward, and the Titans fall on it. A.J. Epinesa knocked it out. Lloyd Cushenberry, the center.
You've got to find a way to string positive plays together without going backwards.
Thompson-Robinson's pass deflected high in the air, dangerous, and it is picked. Off the deflection, it's Hubbard. And disaster for Cleveland.
There's one haymaker. Here's Rodgers, back, sideline, sling, Wilson, intercepted! He didn't catch it, Beanie Bishop did! Beanie's got 2! Beanie has almost
6. 2nd and 10, look out. And is that going to be A fumble, which is taken by Barton in the air. There's no whistle yet. And Barton, what a night this guy's having. Jaquan McMillan.
9 for Carolina. Dalton on the move. He tried to throw it to his own man. He threw it to the other team. Intercepted by Fowler. And he's gonna go. Touchdown, Commanders.
Turner back there as well. Miller the block. It's intercepted. It's picked off on the play by McCullough. Had a pick 6 last week. Tumbles ahead. They blow it dead. It is a pick at the 30-yard line. It's another turnover by the Raiders. 3 of them in the game.
Well, this one's on Minshew because he had.
And the Texans come up with a gigantic takeaway in the game's first 2 minutes. Took 2 plays to bring it home after the recovery. 2 carries by Mixon. And he's trying to do the Lambeau leap.